Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. I appreciate you joining in today. And before we get started, since I'm new to all this, I really appreciate all the support I can get. So please like this video, go back and look at my other videos and like them. Please subscribe. And I'll be sharing with you just common sense financial advice on a variety of different topics. Uh, as today's heading suggests, we're going to be talking about college, and university majors. Um, what are some high paying majors? Juxtapose what majors do not pay uh, and do not pay enough for people to justify taking out, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars for undergraduate and graduate degrees. There is something to be said about following a passion, having some motivation and drive to do something as a career. But as one gets older, one starts to realize that life is full of opportunity. Life can come at some expense. We all have to make tough decisions about our money. That's why budgeting is super important. But that is another discussion for another day. Today, we are going to be talking about college majors. And, I have my undergraduate and graduate degrees. I'm also a product of the community college system. And I give that double thumbs up. If I had 10 thumbs, I would give it 10 thumbs up. It is a very smart decision for students and families to decide to start one's college slash university career at the community college. We'll have that discussion in another thread. But for those of you who have soon to be university students, maybe you have students in ninth, 10th, 11th grade. Maybe you're a student yourself thinking about what majors and careers you might want to consider. And a recent study done by the New York Federal Reserve gives us a little bit of insight on this topic. And according to the study, students who major in liberal arts, performing arts, theology, um, related liberal arts majors, they tend to be the lowest earners. This is sort of a longitudinal study, so they looked at up to 5 years, and they found that they were averaging in those aforementioned degrees, average of about $38,000 a year. That is the lowest among the 75 majors that they looked at. And just to give you a little bit of insight to what we're talking about here, I do have, I want to share with you, comes from that study. And this shows the median salary within 5 years of graduation. You can see a lot of humanities, social sciences in here. Again, these are very meaningful majors. There can be some major learning to be done. There's some great research in these areas. But when we start thinking about the cost of the 4 year undergraduate degree and students and families who may need to take out, 15, $20,000 a year to pay for that education, to then be making 35, 38, 40, 45, $50,000 5 years after graduation. You've got anywhere from tens of thousands to 100 plus $1,000 in student loans. And that's a significant imbalance. Okay. Yes, there is something to be said about passion careers, but we have to really think about what this means for our future. And if we end up having a family, maybe we want to travel the world, maybe there's some other ideas or projects, goals one has after graduation. And I think we've gotten into this trap here in the United States that maybe you have to go to a private school or you have to have a highly ranked institution. That can be important sometimes, but I think more importantly is earning the degree, taking advantage of all the other opportunities that might be out there to help make you career ready. Maybe that's doing an internship, either domestic or international. Perhaps that's doing a study abroad experience. Perhaps that's doing something service in your at your institution or somewhere in the world. Something that is going to stand out on your resume, something you can discuss during your interview that really sets you apart. If you're a student coming out of, let's take a real well-known institution. Let's take a University of Virginia as an example, or Clemson, or any other institution, right? Students, hundreds of them, are coming out every May with a degree from that institution. They've all taken the same courses by the same professors, and they're pretty smart. Maybe they got B's and A's, maybe a C here or there, but for the most part, they're really smart, bright students. Um, what sets them apart? What is it? Is it the internships? Is it that international experience? Is it the study abroad? Is it the service learning? Is it networking? Is it getting out and meeting people? I am a strong believer in the most important job a student will have after graduation is the first job. Well, it's not the job I'm looking for. I want to be a such and such. Okay, everybody starts at the bottom. Okay. It's more important to start getting the experience that then can be highlighted on a resume, right? Than holding back and saying, oh, I don't want that job, or I expect to be paid, more, or I don't want to relocate. That's all doing a disservice to you mentally. So, these are some of the less paid experiences, rate majors rather. And unfortunately, you see things in here like education, social services. These are really feel good, very important careers, right? We need psychologists and nutritionists and early childhood specialists and educators. But families are have to make tough decisions about what majors they can go into. Again, the rising costs of higher ed in the country has ballooned in the last 10 to 15 years, unnecessarily, in my opinion. There's a lot that can be done about that. Another topic for another day. But anyway, I wanted to come back here and just continue this face-to-face conversation. And what we do is there are some majors like you know, fine arts, as an example. There is limited, well-paying opportunities out there. It doesn't mean that someone shouldn't have a fine arts major or even pursue that passion. But maybe one considers having a dual degree. Maybe it's fine arts and business, so they can become an entrepreneur. Maybe it's fine arts in business information technology. Maybe there's something there that they can do. Maybe it's computer science with the fine arts degree. So, as we start thinking about our future and what it is we want to do, we have to kind of think outside the box here. Um, you know, Mid career professionals, so maybe you've been in your industry 10, 15, 20 years. Um, by then you have a lifestyle going. Maybe you're married, or you have a partner, maybe you have children. Maybe you're interested in buying your first home. uh, Maybe you need to get rid of that beater upper that you've been driving for years. Um, but it really does come down to the salary. Your income is your greatest wealth building tool. Your income, followed by contributing to retirement, followed by budgeting and making smart money decisions, etc. Um, I was a teacher. My first career started off as a teacher. I was making $23,000 a year. I thought that was amazing. I quickly realized after 1 year that while it's a worthy industry, it's a great profession. It simply does not pay. It simply does not pay for the amount of responsibility and commitment that teachers um, dedicate to the betterment of their students. Okay. I've since gone back and I've earned a master's degree. I have worked in a variety of positions. I too started at the bottom in my industry, worked my way up into a management type of position. I absolutely love what I do. And I want you and others who you love to be able to love what they're doing as a career as well. There's lots of opportunities out here in the world. And just because you have a degree in one particular area doesn't mean that you're required to go and get a job in that profession. Um, I think having a degree is super important. I think there's a lot of learning that happens at university. I'm not suggesting that there's not a place for higher ed in this society. Absolutely, there is. But I think we're making some bad choices as society as to where we um, focus our attention on majors that simply just do not pay. They just do not pay, and therefore it makes no sense to take out all the amount of money we're seeing students and families take out to um, to pay for this experience. Okay, get my notes here. Make sure we got good talking points. In contrast, right, STEM majors like engineering, health sciences, technology, um, those careers are having a boom time, right? STEM has been a focus in our society, like it is across the world, for many years. And we're seeing more opportunities, especially as businesses innovate, new technologies and new uh, devices come onto the marketplace. There is an absolute need for medical device creation, so biomedical engineering, civil engineering, electrical, mechanical. There's so many opportunities. Computer science, computer engineering. But there is a lot out there for students to consider, and these are high-paying, well-paying careers, very important careers for our society as Americans. Um, these are super important industries as we grow our economy, as we expand into rural areas. Right, we need technology, we need roads, we need bridges, but we need teachers, right? We need businesses. So, like we have to strike a good balance. Have to strike a good balance here. Let me show you some of the top earning careers, and usually engineers rank right up there. And mid-career engineers, according to this report, make somewhere on the average of $80,000, a very good salary, and a lot more to be made in STEM fields. It's not the only sort of section of higher ed that pays well. Of course, the other missing piece of this is the actual individual who has the degree and who's looking for employment, right? Relocation, taking a job that maybe it's not quite what you thought you had in mind when you envisioned your career, but it's a first job in the industry, which is super important, which then allows you to springboard onto other companies, organizations, institutions. Keep building your resume, keep building your skill base, keep building your networks, and so on and so forth. So let's take a quick look here at these highest paying majors do this survey. These are the median salaries within 5 years of graduation. As I mentioned, a lot of computer science, engineering, aerospace, general engineering. But you also see sort of, ranking towards the bottom, you have finance, you have economics, you have business analytics specifically, mathematics, construction services, pharmacy, right? These are like the top 15 that they have produced here. Again, this was um, done by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York in February, late February 2024. Um, so this is a pretty fresh look at data that they've collected um, for this study. Okay. Remember, students, families, you have a choice of major, and that choice can significantly impact your financial future and the future of your family. Okay. I'm sharing this information so you are a little bit more informed, so you have more knowledge to consider. Um, and hopefully, no matter what you do, you are feeling validated, you're feeling wanted and needed in your career, but that you're also contributing to your industry and to your organization